pressure going to be the dominating weather force in our forecast for the next couple of days. You can see it building in here, this kind of bump in the jet stream. Now we've got a trough just off towards the west coast, but most of that energy going to bypass us towards the north in the coming days. So we stay locked under control of the high pressure system, but a front is expected to eventually move through as we get towards the end of the week into the weekend. And that's going to actually bring about a pretty decent temperature drop. But in the meantime, with high pressure moving in, we're talking about a temperature increase in the coming days. So the cloud cover helping to keep us in the 60s probably for today. We'll reach the mid 70s for Mardi Gras Tuesday, and then for Ash Wednesday, temperatures reaching the 80s for highs, and then we'll be in the 83 to 82 degree category for Thursday and Friday. So that 3-day stretch where we are going to be in the 80s, not quite record territory, even though it is several degrees above normal. Normal highs for that 3-day stretch range from 67 to 68 degrees, but you can see the actual record highs are in the mid and upper 80s set back in 1922 and 2018. So our biggest weather issue is probably going to be some fog potential as we see this warm air begin to move in. There'll be a little bit of some moisture trapped at the surface layer of the atmosphere, causing for some fog conditions. Clear for right now, stays clear even into the evening hours tonight. So if you have plans to maybe get your way towards New Orleans or heading to any of the evening parades, should be fine. We're not expecting fog to start to spread inland until we get into the pre-dawn hours on Tuesday morning. You can see patchy fog wording here on our Futurecast fog at 2 a.m. But it does suggest we could see some pockets of dense fog for the early morning start. So bottom line here is if you're waiting to kind of travel out and around the area for Tuesday morning to hit up some of those parades, you may run into some thick fog. Give yourself a few extra minutes out the door, but then the fog burns off as we head through the morning hours. Once again on Wednesday, we'll have some fog around during the morning hours. Right now, Futurecast fog indicating most of that being of the patchy variety, so we may see kind of day-to-day some differences in terms of visibility concerns. But for that morning tomorrow, definitely have a jacket handy. Temperatures in the upper 40s to low 50s. So for our Mardi Gras, we are expecting a little bit of a cool morning start. But let's get into the parade forecast and give you a first alert to what we're expecting. Everything rolling tonight in the city of St. George. Crew of Shenandoah taking to the streets at 6:30 p.m. for their Bayou Boogie. You can see temperatures dropping down from the 60s into the 50s this evening. So again, a light sweatshirt or a jacket, it's all you're going to need for the end of the parade as we drop from those 60s into the 50s, but no concerns about any rainfall. Then as you look towards the actual day, Mardi Gras, of course, lots of parades down in New Orleans, but we've also got parades in New Roads. Similar forecast for both locations, but we start with the community center of Point Capee. They're going to be taking to the streets of New Roads at 10 a.m. Temperatures will be in the low 60s at that time, but we'll climb into the upper 60s towards the end of the parade. And then right then after, the Lions Club of New Roads will be taking the exact same route. So you get two parades for the price of one, even though there are no prices for parades. It's all free fun. Temperatures in the 70s. Will be in the mid 70s by the time we get towards 3 o'clock as things begin to start to wrap up in the New Roads area. So for your 7-day forecast, including for Mardi Gras, we're shaping up to be pretty decent weather. We'll see those highs in the upper 60s for today, mid 70s by the time we get towards Tuesday, and then in the low 80s by the time we get towards Wednesday. A few showers in the forecast as we wait for our next cold front to arrive. This cold front is not going to have a lot of moisture to work with, so in terms of rain chances, not all that much for Thursday, Friday, leading into Saturday, but we'll keep our eyes out for maybe the potential of a rumble or two of thunder for Saturday. We dry things out by the time we get towards Sunday, but also note how temperatures are expected to drop off, and we could even see some chilly morning starts early next week.